pretty and it's not easy, and I know a lot of women feel it, but not everybody wants to talk about it, and I am all about like realness and rawness, and it's not easy, and I am struggling so bad, so bad, trying to keep my head above water, and it's a lot, and I know a lot of people find transparency kind of weird when someone's just so open with their life, and I've always been open with my life, always, maybe a little too much, and I think sometimes it's where I'm wrong, because not everybody wants you to be great, you know what I mean? There's people waiting for your downfall, and there's people praying that things don't work out for you, you know what I mean? But postpartum is one of those things that, you know, affects many women, and it's a scary thing because it can go from 0 to 100 real quick. And I look at my daughter and I love her so much, you know, I'm so thankful that she's here. I was a person that never really wanted children. Maybe that's just because I don't have a lot of patience, or I just don't know how to really interact with kids as much as, you know, some people can. But she's not a regret, you know what I mean? It happened a little bit of a weird time in my life, transitioning from, you know, being one person, trying to transition out of that person into someone new, and she came at a time in my life where I was struggling really hard, using alcohol to fill some sort of void, and I was drinking almost every night, and I was doing other things that I shouldn't have been doing, and using those as a leverage to make myself feel better, and then I got pregnant. And I was scared for a long time. You know, the first half of my pregnancy was emotionally draining. I mean, I was miserable. I mean, physically, my pregnancy was so easy, you know what I mean? I'd be pregnant over and over again because I didn't deal with a lot of what most people deal with. Emotionally, it sucked, and I try my best to think of the positives, and that's what I did in my pregnancy, you know, and I did everything that I could for this little girl to make sure that she was, you know, going to have the best life, you know what I mean? And I did that. And I did that from the start, you know what I mean? As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I started saving. I started buying things for her room. I started getting her clothes. I started to make sure that she was okay. And I did that because that's just how I am. I like to be prepared. I'm not a procrastinator. I'm a little bit of a control freak, like in my tendencies of how I move in life. I mean, I'm really into routines. I don't like change. Things just throw me all out of whack. But it's been very hard adjusting, and I've mentioned this in a couple of other videos, and I knew that it would be hard to adjust to. I've dealt with anxiety and depression issues my whole life. Pretty much as soon as I knew I had feelings, I've felt every single feeling since I could remember. And sometimes that's a good thing, you know what I mean? I like that I can feel, but sometimes it's a little too much. And it overwhelms me when I don't have control over those things. And I'm trying my best. I'm really trying, but I just needed to come on here and vent. I know this won't be hard forever, and I'm going to one day miss being up late so hard, and I am just struggling so bad. And if most of you know, I did let her stay with my mom once already, overnight, and a lot of people have their things about that. Most people, how could you leave your baby? And when I upload this, she will be at the grandparents for the weekend. She's staying with my mom one night, and then I'm picking her up and spending the day with her on Saturday, and then she's going to her other grandma's house for the night, because I just need a break. I feel as mothers, we don't give ourselves enough grace when it comes to, giving ourselves a break. And I am going to be the first person to say that I have waited all week for this break because I'm exhausted, and I want some fun. I want some adult time that's uninterrupted. And will I feel guilty about it while she's gone and feel bad? Of course. I mean, she's my baby. But I fully believe in giving yourself a break. I've always been into mental breaks, mental days off, and just giving yourself time. Because if not, I will spiral out of control with my emotions and everything else. So, it was a rough night last night. She still has her days and her nights confused, so I've been trying things at night to get her to sleep better, but towards the middle to the end of the night, she will not want to go back to sleep. I was up from a little after 2 until about 5:30, trying to get her back to sleep. She's cluster feeding at night, so I've been giving her between 4 and 5 ounces, which seems like a lot for a 3-week-old, but I'm feeding her on demand when she's hungry, and she's showing me cues of being hungry, so that is what I'm going to do. She finally went back to sleep today. She's asleep in the car right now. I mean, she loves her car seat. She loves her car seat, and that's like one of the only breaks that I get is when she's in her car seat. She had a spit up mess. It keeps coming out of her nose. I feel so bad about it. I don't know if I'm not burping her enough or what. I don't know. As a mother, you just never know. You never think you're doing enough, and people always used to tell me that before I got pregnant and going through pregnancy, and I don't feel like I'm doing enough. It's hard for me to even do tummy time with her during the day. I just feel like we don't have enough time in the day to do anything. And going into 3 weeks, that's 3 weeks less on my maternity leave now, and I'm scared, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to go back to work, and I work nights, and leaving her 3 nights with her dad or my mom, and that just doesn't sound like fun to me, you know what I mean? And I'm really, really, really scared for when I go back to work, and I know that's so long away. 9 weeks. I still have 9 weeks. I can get in some sort of routine, maybe. I don't know. I'm hoping that things get better. I know things will get better. I needed to come on here and vent. I wanted to keep my channel raw and real. Nobody talks about these things, you know what I mean? And if they do, it's in private and it's not out there for the world to see. And I realize now that my channel is growing every single day, that I'm going to get comments, I'm going to get criticism and things like that, but I am choosing to share my life with you because of what I'm choosing to do, you know what I mean? I'm trying to document for not only myself, but for my viewers, and mainly for myself. I lost my passion in YouTube, and this pregnancy has really amped my passion for doing YouTube again, and I'm so happy that I have all of you guys here with me, even if I'm just crying on camera for 10 minutes while I'm driving. But I'm not sugarcoating anything on this channel. I see people come onto YouTube all happy all the time, and not a lot of people show what it's really like, you know what I mean? And I'm wearing slippers, and it's 40 degrees outside. My hair is not done. I mean, I'm running on 3 hours of sleep, guys. So I'm showing you the real life, the realness, okay? And it's hard, you know, and I just needed to come on here and vent for a little bit. I'm pulling into my daughter's appointment, her 3-week appointment. I'm hoping for some good news. There's a few issues I need to talk about with the pediatrician, and I'm really hoping everything's okay with her. And I'll do a little 1-month update soon. You guys will see this video before, and I have a couple of collaborations that I'm doing with some companies, and those things will be up very, very soon. I'm trying to find parking here, my bad. And I feel like crying is the only thing that helps me. Like, I will cry in the shower, I will cry in my car. I mean, there's just so many things that I'm feeling, and I just needed to get that out there. I'm trying to clean myself up, clear myself up before I go into this appointment looking like a crazy woman. But motherhood's hard, and I am going to keep this channel real and raw. I know there's a couple people that said I looked miserable in my day in a life with a newborn, and I mean, it's true. I am feeling a little overwhelmed and a little unhappy. The baby blues or postpartum has really hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm trying my best to navigate through this new life of mine. I love Layla. She's my baby. I'm just overwhelmed, and I'm hoping that it gets better. And I just wanted to say thank you for the support and the continued love and the comments that I've received. Definitely all positives from my end, and thank you guys for being here. It's been a lot, but to have a support system on YouTube and my friends, my family, and people who love me, it really, really shows who's there for me and who's not. And it's showing now. You know, when you get pregnant, you lose some of your friends, but a couple of mine stayed around, you know, and are now there for me as well through motherhood. So I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Postpartum sucks. Never be afraid to talk about it. Never be afraid to ask for help, get resources, get medicine if you have to. Medicine's my last resort, but I really think therapy and medicine might help me before this gets worse and I spiral out of control more than what I already have. So that is all, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the support.